It all comes down to this. Game 3 of the West Division Championship Series, Bourne against Cotuit here at Lowell Park. Hello and welcome into Pregame Tomahawk Talk. I'm Adam Gacken alongside Nathan Schwartz and Cam Manna. And Nathan, last night, about as playoff of a baseball game as it gets. It was cold, it was rainy, and the tempers were flaring.
The atmosphere was great, and everybody came to play last night for both Bourne and Cotuit. That is what playoff baseball is all about. But it was Bourne able to get that early lead, and then when that lead got taken away, they instantly took it right back. Davis Gillespie going from not playing in the first two playoff games to coming in clutch with that go-ahead single in the 6th inning. And that's the kind of energy that Bourne got late in that game that they need to carry into the 1st inning here today.
And Cam, Nate kind of mentioned it there a little bit, but it didn't matter who it was. Up and down the lineup, whether it was Ethan Conrad or someone like David Lewis, Davis Gillespie, everyone was producing and everyone helped Bourne to victory.
And that's what a good playoff team does when you want to make a run. First start for Gillespie. He comes up big for the Braves. Bases loaded in that baseball game as time was going on, and such a crucial 2-run single. Chris Stanfield has been really the anchor for this lineup since that first game against Hyannis, a team lead 4 RBIs. But up and down the lineup, every single night so far, we've seen a new guy kind of make their presence felt here in playoff baseball. That's what we saw last summer, and that's what you're going to need in playoff baseball, someone always coming in and calling to the rise of the occasion.
And Nathan, the strength of this team still going, the rotation still strong tonight. It's a starter in the an all-star game who gets the start today in Joe Arriola.
And it's kind of crazy to think about how Bourne now in their 4th playoff game is having an all-star start a must-win game. That is such an advantage for this Bourne team. And for Arriola, he's been pretty up and down throughout the entire summer. Against teams not named Wareham, he's been fantastic. He's only faced this Cotuit team one time. That was in a relief appearance. He hasn't pitched in about a week and a half, so let's see what he's got here today in a win or go-home game for the Bravos.
Arriola's arm about as fresh as it gets. We'll continue to break down this matchup here on Pregame Tomahawk Talk. Adam Gacken now joined by Marek Houston here on Pregame Tomahawk Talk ahead of Bourne taking on Cotuit in Game 3. Marek, last night you guys had a big win, and you guys really brought the energy. You had the eye black on the field. It seemed like everyone in the dugout was really going. How important is it to have that energy in these playoff games?
Yeah, it's big. It's big to cheer each other on and, yeah, get some energy going, grab the momentum, and get some runs. So, I mean, it's big in playoff games like this. So.
You had a big play in the field late in the game to get a big out. Talk me kind of through your approach when that ball is just coming right at your head.
Yeah, I was kind of shaded up the middle. I knew he was kind of a pull guy. He pulled the ball a couple times during the game, and I just put myself in the best position to make the play, and I saw it, and I got a pretty good jump and just snagged it. So.
And where you're hitting in the lineup right now, number 2 behind Ethan Conrad, who's hitting almost 400 this season. How easy does it make life for you at the plate sometimes when you're hitting with a guy on base so often?
Yeah, it's nice. It gives you a little decision if you want to move them over. You get a hit for, like, situations. So, I mean, it definitely helps when you got runners on and you got a chance to score them. So, it definitely helps. Yeah.
You guys get Joe Arriola all on the mound today. He's a teammate of yours at Wake Forest, another all-star on this team. You guys are still in your rotation. How exciting is it to have Joe on the mound today and to still be in your rotation at this point in the playoffs?
Yeah, no, it's good to have him out there. You kind of know what to expect from him and what you're going to get out of him. And that's a good, like, 5-6 innings of, strikeouts. And, yeah, we're just going to play our best behind him and try and get this win today. So.
We're still in the middle of batting practice, but we've already got some Bourne fans here. It feels like this Bourne crowd just gets bigger and bigger every single game. What's it like to have the Bourne faithful behind you?
Yeah, it's awesome. It definitely brings it to life during the playoffs, and it's definitely a unique atmosphere, and it's awesome to see the Braves fans come out to a away game. Game 3 when we need them, and it's pretty cool.
All right, well, thank you very much, Marek. Adam Gacken here with Sean Brennan, continuing to break down Game 3 between Bourne and Cotuit here in the West Division Finals. And Sean, let's start things off by talking a little bit about last night. And the big thing in that game for Bourne was every time Cotuit came back, every time that the Kettleers started to get things going, Bourne immediately responded.
Right, and that's kind of been a theme this entire season, especially for head coach Scott Landers. Momentum's going to swing in baseball games. This is the nature of the sport, right? It's easy in one swing to change things, but last night, Bourne started out, they scored 2 runs, and then they had the momentum. Then Brendan Compton in the 5th inning launches a 2-run shot. Cotuit's dugout erupts. It looks like they have all the momentum. But then what does Bourne do? They come back. They put up 3 runs. Their deficit gets shortened to 5-4, and then they come back and they put up 2 more. So really every time that Cotuit responded, Bourne came back and really asserted themselves on offense and kind of created some separation.
And Sean, you mentioned Compton there, the Arizona State product. I know you're a Sun Devil. You've seen him play a lot. And for the Kettleers offensively, he's been their big guy recently.
He has. And I'm going to start by giving credit to Jaron Advincula. He was the batting champion in the regular season. He's been very good in this series, in these playoffs. But it's really been a charge led by Brandon Compton. This past season at ASU, he won Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, comes to the Cape, and has been one of the best hitters during the regular season and into the postseason. He's gone 6 for 8 this series. He has a double and a home run, and he's just had an answer. He's been the spark plug for them. So I'm not sure how much Bourne's going to be able to limit him, but you're going to have to try because he's been an X factor, and I expect him to bring his best tonight.
And earlier, Nate mentioned how Bourne is pretty lucky to have Joe Areola still on the mound, still in that starting rotation. For Cotuit, they go to Bryce McKnight, who's pitched just once so far this season here in Cotuit. Before that, struggled in the NECBL a little bit.
Yeah, well, his one outing on the Cape came a couple days ago, last game of the regular season against Bourne. He went 1 inning, struck out 3, a couple of base runners, but overall solid performance. And the thing with him is that there's just not a ton of experience. This past season at Arizona, he was a freshman, only pitched in 3 1/3 innings. He had some solid outings, but he also had one where he allowed 3 earned runs in an inning that kind of skewed that ERA a little bit. So kind of unsure what we're getting with him. He hasn't started yet on the Cape, so we'll see how long he goes tonight in a very high-stakes game. It's win or go home for both teams, so you have to imagine that both pitchers leash, but McKnight's definitely will be quite short.
Well, it should be an interesting one. First pitch coming up at 4 p.m. You don't want to go anywhere.